You didn't find this video by chance. Your heart quickened, the world seemed to pause for an instant, and that was no coincidence. You were guided here for a reason that transcends the algorithm. This moment was recorded with your name on it, prepared for your ears long before you existed. While the noise of life continues around you, a silent portal opens now, offering a conversation that seems to have been hidden from the rest of the world, reserved specifically for your spirit. Many may hear the sound, but only you have been called to understand. The silent struggle you fought, those nights where pain tried to drown your thoughts, all of it was seen. Every tear counted, every sigh kept. The silence you interpreted as abandonment was, in truth, the very ground where your deepest roots were being strengthened, prepared to bear the weight of a blessing that is about to arrive. You are not late. The time that seemed lost was a necessary refinement, a divine process that carefully separated you from people, places, and cycles that were never designed to accompany you in this new stage now beginning. The rejection that broke your heart is being, at this very moment, transformed into the precise direction of your destiny. The intensity of the recent attacks, of the last hardships, is not a sign of defeat. It is the undeniable proof that there is something about to be released over your life that causes fear. Your simple obedience to remain here, to believe, is unlocking something greater than your own story. Future generations will be impacted by your yes given here in the quiet of this moment. You wake in the middle of the night with a tight chest. It wasn't a nightmare that woke you. It's a feeling of emptiness, of unmet expectation. You look at the ceiling in the dark and wonder if it's all worth it. The routine weighs heavily, responsibilities mount, and that feeling that you're merely surviving, not truly living, becomes a constant companion. You fulfill your duties, care for your family, work hard, but there's an echo inside you asking, is this all there is? This restlessness is not a character flaw. It's not a lack of gratitude. It is a sign. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment. It is your spirit recognizing it was prepared for more, that there is a pending conversation, a promise not yet materialized. The frustration you feel when you look back and see delayed plans, dormant dreams, is not an indicator of failure. It is evidence that the preparation process is still underway. Your ground is being plowed even when you only see the upturned soil and the dust. Science speaks to us of neurobiological resilience, of how the brain adapts and strengthens in the face of moderate, persistent stress. What you call a struggle, neuroscience might call synaptic strengthening, the creation of new, more robust neural pathways. And spirituality complements this. That inner forging is sacred. Every challenge that seems to want to break you is, in truth, shaping the internal structure necessary to sustain the coming phase. Think of the last time you felt profoundly misunderstood. Perhaps it was at a family gathering where your ideas were dismissed, or at work where your effort went unnoticed, or in the solitude of your room when you believed no one cared about your pain. That feeling of isolation, of being out of sync with the world around you, is one of the clearest symptoms. You feel like a foreigner in your own land. Superficial conversations don't nourish you anymore. You seek substance, meaning. In a world that seems to value only speed and appearance, this disconnect is not a social accident. It is a spiritual consequence. You are being gradually unplugged from a system that was not made for you because a new alignment is being prepared. It's as if you've outgrown your old clothes. They were tight, limiting your movement. The rejection you felt, the door that closed, the relationship that ended. Look at these events not with the pain of abandonment, but with the clarity of one who understands they were written out of the scene. They served a purpose in one chapter, but they were not written into the next act of your story. This is deeply counterintuitive to our mind, which naturally seeks attachment and permanence. Our instinct is to fight to keep what we have, even if it harms us. But the divine process, or the intelligent flow of the universe if you prefer, often acts by subtraction before addition. It removes what is transient to make space for what is essential. Have you ever stopped to observe nature? A seed, to become a tree, must first be buried in the darkness of the soil. It must let go of its original form, break down into its basic elements. Only then can it sprout and reach the light. The period in the dark is not a punishment. It is a non-negotiable phase of growth. Your phase of silence, of apparent inactivity, of waiting that seems endless, is your time in the soil. It is when the most important things are happening out of sight. Your faith is being tested not to be destroyed, but to be refined. Your patience is being exercised not as a passive virtue, but as a spiritual muscle you will need to use very soon. Psychology speaks of the zone of proximal development, that space between what you can already do alone and what you can achieve with a little support. The spiritual life has a similar zone. God, the universe, the creative force, whatever name you prefer, is constantly placing us in situations just beyond our current comfort zone, but still within our potential for growth with a little divine support. The problems that seem insurmountable today are exactly the right size to expand your capacity for tomorrow. The anxiety you feel is often the tension between where you are and where your spirit knows it can go. Now, let's talk about the attacks. The moments when everything seems to collapse at once, a health scare, an unexpected bill arrives, a family conflict explodes, a professional disappointment occurs. And that thought comes, why me? Why all at once? This is one of the most important revelations. The intensification of difficulties, when you are already at your limit, is rarely a sign you are on the wrong path. On the contrary, it is a strong indication you are on the threshold of a great turning point. It is the principle of final resistance. Imagine you are about to give birth to a new reality for your life. Labor is intense, painful, and seems like it will never end. But every contraction is a sign that birth is near. Spiritual, emotional, and even material attacks intensify because there is something of enormous value about to be manifested. Something that will alter not only your trajectory, but will have a cascading effect on the people around you and even on generations to come. The enemy, whether you call it doubt, fear, negative mental patterns, or forces of opposition, does not invest energy where there is no threat. It does not attack a territory it already considers lost. The ferocity of the attack is directly proportional to the size of the promise about to be fulfilled. Understand this. If you are under heavy fire, it is because you carry within you a treasure worth stealing. Your future peace, your discovered purpose, your positive influence, all of that is a threat to the kingdom of stagnation and fear. Let's bring this into everyday life. You are trying to do something good, something aligned with your heart. You decide to forgive someone who hurt you, and the next day you receive news that reopens the wound. You decide to start a meaningful project, and a series of bureaucratic or financial obstacles arise that seem insurmountable. You decide to take better care of your health, and an injury or illness appears that prevents you. The mind immediately screams, "See, it wasn't meant to be. Give up." That voice is the resistance. And your work in this critical moment is simply to remain. Remain in the decision to forgive, even with the wound throbbing. Remain in the vision of the project, even without seeing the path. Remain in the care, even with a weak body. Obedience in this context is not a blind submission to external rules. It is the courage to stay faithful to the inner truth that was awakened in you, even when all external evidence seems to contradict it. That is where transformation happens. It is in the yes given in the dark, the faith kept in the drought, that the deepest spiritual mechanisms are triggered. You are not just waiting for an external miracle. You are actively participating in the creation of a new internal pattern, which will inevitably reflect in the external. I knew someone named Sarah who spent years in a job that drained her. She felt a calling to work with something more meaningful, but the bills pressed in. Every attempt at change was followed by a family financial crisis, forcing her to stay put. She began to interpret these crises as a sign she should give up the dream. Until one day, weary of the struggle, she decided to stop fighting the circumstance and began to act from the dream, within the limitations. She dedicated 1 hour a day, even exhausted, to study and practice what she loved. She didn't change jobs immediately. She just remained faithful to that small space of meaning. In less than a year, a sequence of improbable events, an unexpected contact, a remote opportunity, opened a path that led to a smooth transition into a career aligned with her purpose. The crises didn't magically cease, but they lost the power to derail her. She had built an internal anchor. Her small daily yes was what unlocked the door. This has a fascinating scientific parallel. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself, is activated by repetition and focus. When you decide to remain in a new mindset of hope, of purpose, even against current evidence, you are literally carving new neural pathways. Over time, these pathways become the main roads of your thinking, and the old trails of fear and despair begin to close from lack of use. You are not just thinking positive, you are performing a structural renovation of your own mind. Spirituality sees this as the renewal of the mind, a concept present in many traditions. It is the alignment of your thoughts with a reality deeper and truer than that presented by the immediate senses. Every time you choose to believe that silence is preparation, that rejection is redirection, that attack is an indicator of promise, you are strengthening that new neural network and, at the same time, tuning your spiritual frequency to that of manifestation. So the solution isn't found in a complicated external ritual, nor in a magical formula of words. It lies in the reorientation of your perception. The first practical step is reinterpretation. Begin to revisit the painful events of your recent past and ask yourself, what if this wasn't a failure, but a preparation? What if that closed door wasn't a rejection of me, but a protection for me? What if this current difficulty isn't a block, but the necessary training for the next level? This isn't about denying the pain, it's about giving it a new meaning. The pain is real, but the suffering is optional. Suffering is the story of defeat we tell ourselves about the pain. When you change the story, you transform suffering into fuel for resilience. The second step is the practice of conscious abiding. Choose one small area of your life where you feel that call, that whisper of something greater. It could be a neglected talent, a relationship needing healing, a creative project. Commit to a minimal, consistent action in that area. Just 5 minutes a day. Consistency, not grandiosity, is the key. It is that daily thread that keeps the portal open. The third step is detachment from human time. Our greatest anxiety comes from the internal clock we have for everything. By 40, I should have achieved X. By 50, I should be at Y. That clock is a social construct, not a spiritual law. Divine timing, kairos, is the opportune time, the right moment. It doesn't follow a linear calendar. Your unique story has its own rhythm of unfolding. Trusting this is liberating. It means you can stop comparing yourself and stop holding yourself to arbitrary deadlines. You are exactly where you need to be for the next stage. This impacts even the most practical questions of adult life. The retirement that seems insecure, the children taking different paths, the health requiring more attention. When you understand that everything is part of a process of refinement and redirection, the fear of the future loses its power. You begin to see resources differently, to perceive opportunities where you once only saw lack. Someone who applied these principles shared with me that instead of panicking about a reduction in her income, she began to see it as a forced invitation to simplicity and creativity. She reinterpreted the limitation as fertile ground for innovation. And from within that new mindset, ideas emerged that not only resolved the financial issue, but brought a satisfaction that her old money never provided. The transformation was internal first. Peace came before the material solution, and the material solution came as a natural reflection of that established inner peace. Your yes in this moment, your decision to believe there is an intelligent purpose behind everything you've lived, is immensely powerful. It isn't just changing your energy, it's sending a signal across time and space. It's affecting your family lineage, healing patterns from the past you don't even know. It's planting seeds of faith for your children and grandchildren, even if they never know the details of your struggle. It's contributing to a wider field of consciousness, where fewer people give up on their dreams because you didn't give up on yours. Your silent testimony of perseverance becomes an invisible beacon for others walking through the same darkness. That is why the blessing that comes is larger than your personal story. It has a generational component. You are breaking chains and establishing new inheritances of faith, of resilience, of meaning. So when doubt knocks at your door again, remember, you are not a product of chance. You are the recipient of a personalized message the universe is delivering through the tapestry of your life with its light and dark threads. The synchronicity that brought you here is the first of many you will begin to notice, now that your eyes are adjusting to see in a new way. Your journey up to now has not been a prelude to failure, but the necessary prologue to a story of deep meaning and quiet impact. Continue, abide, believe. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.